can support us by subscribing. The century's most fierce and critical war between Russia and Ukraine is now in its first year, and Turkey, a NATO member and Russia's only remaining link to the West, has used its unique strength to both arm Ukraine and host several peace tours, also taking advantage of Turkey's geostrategic position. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan himself the role of mediator in Russia's invasion of Ukraine to reconcile both sides of the war, and made critical moves to pacify Russia's aggressive policies. The peace talks Erdogan mediated, and the negotiation of the Black Sea grain deal were some of the moves Turkey took to defuse this war. Although Turkey remains the friendliest country to Moscow of all NATO countries, it is the only NATO country that supplies Ukraine with weapons without the condition of not using them against targets inside Russia. Ukraine gladly took advantage of this operational flexibility, using Turkish-made Bayraktar TB to arm drones to hit targets in Russia's Kursk and Belgorod oblasts multiple times. The intensity of Turkey's support for Ukraine should not surprise those who have followed the country's foreign policy decisions in recent years. In 2019, Turkey was the only NATO member to intervene alongside the internationally recognized Libyan government against Khalifa Hafez's Russia-backed Libyan National Army. Although never respected, Turkish intervention was the only thing preventing Russia from gaining a firm military foothold on NATO's southern border. This does not mean that Turkish foreign policy decisions that directly contradict Russia's interests do not carry great risks, because Turkey is currently faced with both internal and external threats from actors that receive support from Russia or that may escalate Russia's support. Moreover, Turkey showed little hesitation in bombing the Wagner PMC positions and soldiers acting as the unofficial arm of the Russian army in Libya. While Turkey appeared determined to maintain good foreign relations, it also seemed to be one of the first to act when it felt that its own interests or those of its strategic partners were threatened. Turkey, on the other hand, proved the proof of this strikingly with the weapons and war equipment such as UAVs sent to the Ukrainian army. The Turkish government has so far sent about 35 Bayraktar DB to armed unmanned aerial vehicles, 24 mini Bayraktar reconnaissance UAVs, TRL-G-230 guided multiple rocket launchers, as well as intense efforts to mediate between Ukraine and Russia. In addition, Turkey sent electronic warfare equipment, 200 BMC, CURE, armored vehicles, mortars, and ammunition, as well as a number of other aid packages to the Ukrainian army. Turkish-made war machines on the Ukrainian fronts became Ukrainian heroes at key moments of the war and changed the fate of the war. Even now, Turkish-made war machines and TB2S and ammunition are crushing Russian troops on Ukraine's eastern fronts and in the Black Sea skies. Especially the Ukrainian troops in Bar are actively using Turkish Kurp armored vehicles, TB2S, and artillery munitions. Ukraine, on the other hand, has chosen to keep publications about these deliveries to a minimum, rather than announcing the extent of all this military support by Turkey. Most deliveries from Turkey were only revealed after they were detected in Ukraine or reported by Ukrainian sources. Most of the weapons sent from Turkey to the Ukrainian army were donated, while the rest were sold at huge discounts. On the other hand, Turkey's help in the plight of Ukraine has not been entirely a matter of government. Baykar Tech became internationally famous with its decision to donate 5 Bayraktar DB2S to Ukraine after crowdfunding organizations from Lithuania, Ukraine, and Poland achieved their funding goals. In addition, Baykar Tech used the collected $32 million for humanitarian defense and reconstruction projects in Ukraine. Interestingly, these aids seem to be only half of the story. Ukrainian government sources reported that Ukraine received about 15 more Bayraktar DB2S from Baykar for free, and 15 more were sold at a lower price. It was announced that this price covers only Baykar's production costs. Baykar also donated 24 mini Bayraktar reconnaissance UAVs to the Ukrainian armed forces. Unlike many of the other small reconnaissance UAVs delivered to Ukraine, these UAVs were scramble-resistant, a feature that was highly welcomed in Ukraine's battlefield environment, rich in UAV development. A hitherto unreported Turkish arms delivery to Ukraine consists of an unspecified number of 230mm Tu-30 guided MIRLs, which are particularly deadly thanks to their precision-guided munitions. TRLG Tu-30 guided MIRLs are believed to have a range of over 75 kilometers against targets such as combat vehicles, capable of hitting up to 4 targets, but with a durability of more than 24 hours and the long range of the EO and IR sensor. They can detect much more in combined operations with the TB2. The 230mm TRLG Tu-30 can accurately destroy the guns identified by BROKR DB2S in rapid succession up to a range of 70 kilometers. Some have tried to explain the lack of footage showing BROKR DB2S hitting Russian targets in a more bizarre way, with the TB2S being dropped. But it also turned out that the footage was recorded in the first days and then gradually leaked. Also, the threats on the battlefield have evolved. Ukraine's TB2S have transitioned to a range of new roles, including the deployment of long-range reconnaissance, electronic warfare, and defensive weapons. On the other hand, Turkey has many assets that would be very suitable for the Ukrainian armed forces. Turkey exports almost every weapon system imaginable in addition to UCVS and guided MIRLs. These exported weapons include 122mm T, 122 and 300mm TG, 300 MIRLs, as well as air defense systems such as Hasara Plus with 15km range, Hasaro with 25km range and 35mm Court. Also, a self-propelled anti-aircraft gun SPAG is ideal for countering the threat posed by both independently circulating munitions. In this regard, Turkey is seen as a serious source of support. While NATO continues to scour member states for supplies of Soviet-era weapons, the gradual depletion of these resources could one day lead to the purchase of more advanced weapons from Turkey on behalf of Ukraine, which has proven to be a little concern. It is estimated that providing advanced armament to Ukraine is among Turkey's near-future plans, even if it could be used to attack targets inside Russia. In addition, Ukraine's receipt of the first Tuato-class corvettes ordered from Turkey was considered a heavy blow to the Russian Navy. Although the presence of the Russian Navy in the Black Sea may prevent the use of these ships in the near future, Turkey's efforts to address Ukraine's more pressing problems continue by integrating Bayraktar IR guided manpads into Bayraktar TB2. It is of great importance in the fight against the threat posed by Iranian-made munitions in the wake of recent reports of trying to help Ukraine. Turkey serves to emphasize its status as a staunch ally supporting Ukraine's defense, stating that Turkey's support to Ukraine is of great importance. NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg, during a visit to Turkey, urged President Erdogan to give the green light for Sweden and Finland's membership to the alliance. Some critics have argued that Turkey's disapproval of these protocols of the two Scandinavian countries was due to Turkey's support for Russia. But in reality, Turkey's position is a result of its own legitimate security concerns. While the tripartite memorandum agreed upon by Finland, Sweden and Turkey in June defines terrorism as one of the main threats in NATO's new strategic concept, it expects the two Scandinavian countries to take concrete steps in Turkey's fight against terrorism, which it sees as an existential threat, analyzing some salient features of Turkish policy since 2014. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications in order to be informed about new videos. Our content is carefully prepared by our expert team. Thank you for watching us.